to first base. If they're going to first base and it hits you running in fair territory, you're out. But if it hits you below the waist, you're out anyway. So now if you're running, of course, if you're running here and the ball hits you above the waist, you're good. Hits you below the waist, you're out. Doesn't matter if they're throwing at the runner or first if it hits them below the waist. Well, yeah, a lot of times you'll see, especially in pee-wees, you're running and a little girl, you're running and a girl will come all the way up and then she throws it and hits you above the waist. Instead of just tagging them, they'll kind of shove it at them. Well, if it hits them here, even though you're running in fair territory, they're safe because they were definitely throwing at the girl. They weren't throwing toward first base. Same thing with, we're talking about how the catchers love to sneak up. Okay, we get a bunt that's perfect right here at the 3-foot line. And, a lot of girls, after they bunt the ball, their first few steps are in fair territory before they can get out here. You got that little catcher right behind them, and a lot of times they'll just flip the ball up the base path. But that ball happens to bounce and comes up and hits her above the waist. Even though she's in fair territory, she's safe. Remember, it's always the first hit. If a ball is thrown at a girl and it hits her above the waist, then it comes down and hits her in the rump or in the foot, she's still safe. Remember, if a ball goes through a runner, a fielder, like a lot of times you have a bang-bang play at third base. Here comes the ball in. Third baseman's ready for the ball. Goes right through her hands and hits the runner before she steps on third base. Is she out or safe?
Did she touch the ball? Yeah.
Or it happens at home.
Yeah.
Same thing at home. If you have the catcher waiting for the ball and it goes through her and hits the girl before it, if she's making a play on it, now if she's just standing here and she sees the ball coming in and she just watches it hit her, that's not making a play on it. As long as she's not blocking the plate. Now if she's blocking the plate and not making a play on it, now we have obstruction. But if she's just up here and she sees the ball, because I'll tell my first baseman, if there's a bang-bang play, I want you to throw it 3 foot up the line. If it's a bad throw, I want my catcher to make a play on it. If it's not, you let the ball go. If it hits her, it hits her. If it doesn't, we get that 1/10% chance we might get the girl out. So if the catcher does not make a play on it, she just watches it, it's a good throw, she steps back, and the ball hits her, she's out. So always determine if the fielder is making a play on the ball. Same thing on a fair kickball. If it goes through a girl's hands who is trying to make a play on it, and it hits a runner, unless she intentionally runs into it, she's not out. I think, did we go over the obstruction where they ran into the live kickball?
Yes.
Okay. Another example of giving the coach the option, you got the girl, she's on the line. I think we did that one too, but anyway, you always give the coach the option on the defensive interference. If a run scored, you got an out, and that's what they want the play to be. Let them, what happened? Let them, let the coach make the choice. I think that's about it. Y'all have any questions?
I got a question. Sometimes they slide to home base, and there's a ball thrown at them. What do you aim for? Anywhere in the body, or?
No. Same thing.
Same thing. It has to be.
If it hits them above the waist.
Hits her chest or head or arm?
Anything above the waist. It has to be below the waist as a legal hit. Any other questions?
Where does your catcher stand for it not to be obstruction of home plate?
What do you mean?
The girl's coming on home, where does your catcher stand?
The other end of the plate.
Okay, well, like a good rule of thumb, especially in pee-wees, you'll see a lot of these little catchers, you got the base loaded and you got a force at home. And they'll stand right here waiting for it. waiting for the ball. Runner has a right to the home plate. So I always tell the girls, if I'm umpiring, it's a force. You know, move up here, give the girl the plate. All you have to do is catch the ball with your foot on the base, she's out. I mean, she has a right to stand here, but she also may be laying on her fanny because somebody has a right. We have a 3-foot plate, but the runner has to be able to come into that plate.
So if she's standing there like that, is that obstruction of home plate?
Well, yeah, especially if she is not making a play on the ball, yes, that is obstruction. If she's making a play on the ball, she has the right to be here. But I would not advise my girls to set up there if I have a force. The only time you want to set up here is if you have to make a tag. Take a minute, Fred. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
You said that on the timeout, that if we ask for 2 timeouts, the pitcher is automatically out of the game. That same player, can they play?
They can play. They just cannot pitch. Yeah, they can play. They can't pitch for the remainder of that game. Yeah.
And when you were saying on the
I don't understand your question.
like if they're in the circle and they're looking out there and they see the ball coming towards them, is it safe to tell one of them out of the way or the next people? They're on deck.
They need to stay. You don't want a girl coming out here until the play is over. Until the umpire says, I need my next pitch. That's when you.
So it's safe just to leave them.
They stay there. Yeah, they need to stay. That's why we put them there. Except if a ball is playing.
I forgot to tell you all this stuff about
Yeah, because there's one bar, like if you then go inside the door from one door,
Okay.
We have a question. Over here, Elsa. If there is 2 girls, like say they both end up on second base because one ran back to the other one. I know one legally has to get off, but as long as, you know what I mean, if they're both standing on the base, what are you supposed to do?
And the girl tags both of them, which one's legally out?
Okay. The rule is that whoever, if you're forced to vacate the base, like let's say we have runners at first and second, and the ball's kicked, the little girl at second does not go to third. The girl at first goes and stands. They're both standing on second base. The girl